Good morning. Welcome to ATI ProMedia. We have got a busy day in the markets. Everything is moving very quickly, so we're going to jump right into it. And I'm going to bring on someone you may know, my co-host, Tommy Grisafi. Tommy, how we doing?
I'm doing well. This is so much fun doing live every day because I was just talking to our partner Dave Lechtenberg. I said there's not a lot to talk about, and then boom, the headlines came out. What a great opportunity to talk about what's going on in wheat. Before we do wheat, you want to touch outside markets real quick?
Yeah. Let's do a couple things. We're going to keep it brief on financials, but one thing I noticed, Tommy, mortgage refinances. You talked about how that mortgage rate's dropping. Mortgage refis jumped 14%. Right, we saw the market react with mortgage rates coming down. So something to keep in mind. Other thing we got crude oil, Tommy. We got crude oil. What is it at a 6-7 month low, I believe.
Yeah, we're approaching $70 crude oil.
$70.
There's to the folks watching, what's it mean? We do have some people who trade crude oil, mini crude. There's different crudes. I'm okay with farmers trading futures, heating oil, but really, truthfully, it's time to call the fuel guy. You're getting to the year end. You may need to spend a little money. Crude gets down to 70, 65. We may start talking about is the government going to fill the strategic reserve? Who knows? It's the government, not for us to really know. But as far as farmers, they do need fuel, right? There's some things we know and there's some things we don't know. I do know this. It's going to be really hard to farm next year and plant a crop and harvest a crop without fuel. If we get crude in the 70, 65, 60, might want to back the truck up and buy a little of that. Of course, we could always talk to people about futures and options and doing that. But I would say if I work with a few hundred farmers, I have 5 who actually trade crude oil futures and options.
Gotcha. Other thing we got, Tommy, 10-year note, 4.14%. I believe we topped out, what was that, a month ago?
At a
North of 5?
505. Yeah,
505,
$5.
yeah.
5%. It's a big deal. All these shows, again, we talk about. I stood in the 10-year note pit at the Board of Trade, so that's why I like talking about the 10-year. We used
Mhm.
to always talk about the 30-year. The 30-year is more based on mortgages. The 10-year is kind of what I think of what you see a lot. Of course, we go 30s, 10s, 5s, 2s, T-bills and whatnot. Fed funds down to the bottom. We'll talk Fed rates. There was an interesting story that came out today of some people saying that be careful. The markets may have overpriced these rate cuts. And when you see things like Bitcoin at 44,000 a day and gold shooting up to all-time highs, it's sending mixed signals on is this inflation under control? Let's get into the base of this story. I noticed the headline had a picture of
Let's
Connor B, and it says, "Let's talk wheat."
let's we first thing we got flash sales leading into that, Tommy. We got China again, third day in the row, buying some soft red winter wheat, 13.6 million bushels, and then they also came to the table on soybeans again. So then with that, let's dive in and pull it up, producer Joe. We'll pull up the slide.
Thank you,
China,
China. China sponsoring the
China
show today.
and this wheat market. Tommy, 2 weeks ago, we would have been talking wheat and it would not have been a fun conversation. It was bleak. And then suddenly we've got some sales rumblings of a drought, right? A short crop, wheat crop in China. And here we are today, and we've got wheat up in the double digits as we speak. What got us to this point?
Well, China getting good quality information is hard to get out of there. Of course, they don't have an ATI ProMedia live stream out of China. One thing I've noticed is that they did grow enough wheat. There's a quality problem with wheat. Who tells us this? Can we trust the source? Let's just go with the facts we know. That's what this live AM show is about. The
Yeah.
facts are China's in buying wheat. The facts are we're on a 5-6 day, pretty good rally in wheat. How did we get here? The first notice day curse. December first notice day curse in both corn and wheat. Uh, Big selling as we come into the level where we actually have to get out of Dece and go into March and other months, whether it be funds or people. I just checked in with corporate. We're down to like 350, 400 open interest in D Suite. So I know we have a cool chart of what happened yesterday, just to
Yeah.
talk about the delivery process a little bit.
Pull that up. We'll jump around. Here you go.
Okay, go ahead. So this is what happened in the Dece March spread yesterday. Our coworkers, Mark Talaski and Michael Reginelli, put this out. Just a little, they had a little merchandising 101 paragraph, but this is what can go wrong during the delivery period. Of course, if you're long D Suite, you might not think anything's going wrong, but somebody was short this and somebody said, Uncle, and we look at those numbers. We went from -30 to -10 here in the Dece March wheat. Nobody should really be in Dece. It's just something we should talk about. But with this, the March wheat contract's rallying well. The funds are short. Board of Trade wheat, KC wheat,
Very short.
very short. This chart compliments our friends over there at Grain Stats, putting out great graphics, whatnot. But they're short wheat. So this is a perfect storm for farmers who have wheat, who maybe didn't get it priced. They're going to get the double whammy where the funds cover the short and they are caught long. The funds are short, the farmer's long. I'll tell you something about the funds. It seems like they make money, but then I also notice that they have a really hard time getting out of these big positions. So the funds pile into soybeans, they pile into meal, and then maybe a farmer gets pulled up and says, "The funds are bullish, they're getting in." Yeah, you should sell it to them because when they go to get out, you get what happened here in beans the other day from up 14 to down 13. You get what's happening here in wheat. You want to have wheat sold before the funds go from a net long to a net short, but they are a huge net short. And we can, of course, people listening on Apple and Spotify, we can send you today's graphics and charts.
Absolutely.
Emails. Talk about this real quick.
And here's another graph, and it just shows everything you're talking about. It puts it in form. Estimates of what the funds are doing the past 5 days, right? November 28th, we got at 120,000 net short estimated, and look how it's just reduced the 5 days. Sitting December 5th, we've got at 89,000. So just what you were talking about, the funds liquidating on that, this is just a graph to show that. And then other thing we got is looking at one thing we got to keep in mind, Tommy, is this is very much a soft red winter wheat story. That's the short crop in China. That's what they've been buying, and it's really helped the entire wheat complex. Don't forget, Russia had a huge hard red winter wheat crop holding it, but the wheat complex in general is moving higher. And looking at unshipped sales, look at that 23 compared to previous years. We're dang near double the average unshipped sales for this year. So fantastic. Brian Basting sent us the balance sheet, Tommy, and looked how fast that changed.
Research did confuse us, not confuse us. We're the ones confused. Research knows what they're doing, but we have a fantastic research team. But they showed China buying it, and then he said, but there's also a lot of wheat. And you and I are like, how is that? Yet Russia is flooding the markets with wheat. China's buying wheat. I don't know why China doesn't go over to Russia and buy the wheat, whatever. But also Russia started to change their policy on wheat a month or two ago. I remember a headline coming out saying Russia might have got a little ahead of their skis on selling this wheat too cheap. Real quick, we have a little information. We have any more slides or anything else?
Only other thing I had, Tommy, was just looking at it, this price action for since October in the March 24 week contract, how we've seen this rally and we bottomed out. So it feels a good rally when we take that snapshot, but let's keep in mind the grand picture of what March of 24 wheat has done this past year, right? We're still very much in a bear market and we've got a ways to go if we want to make yearly highs. So
real quick, little color here. We come out of the guns blazing. Board of Trade wheat up big. KC, Minneapolis. Corn went along for the ride, up 3.5. Corn's down 2 now. Wheat's coming off, and beans are not doing well. Meal's down. Jan soybeans down 8. They are below $13. I have a 12.97 print in Jan beans. Real quick, how do people get a hold of us here on the interweb?
Yeah, feel free, like and subscribe us. We're doing this every day. Give us a call, 837-FAARM farm. And then feel free to watch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We talk charts, but we'll send them to you if you want to see the visuals, if you're just listening along with us.
Connor B, I think we will be back at 9. I think it's time for producer Joe to roll his favorite sister-in-law.
Let's do it.
See you tomorrow, buddy.
Bye.
Again.
Thanks for joining us. We're here every day, 9 a.m. Central. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.